Millions of Australians swelter this afternoon, scorching temperatures as an extreme heat wave grips 3 states. A man survives a shark attack at a popular swimming spot, saved by his wife. Vaccine on track, a pledge the rollout will continue as planned despite overseas delays. And legendary broadcaster Larry King dead at 87, tributes for American television royalty.
This is 7 News with Angie Asimus.
Good afternoon. Millions of Australians are sweltering as an extreme heatwave grips more than half the nation's population. Temperatures are soaring across large parts of South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales. Adelaide peaked at a scorching 43 degrees today. In Melbourne, the heat is slowly intensifying, 35, while Sydney's west hit 40. But the warning is it'll get even hotter over the coming days. Taylor Auerbach is tracking the temperature in Sydney's west. Taylor, many are desperate to beat the heat.
Angie, hundreds of thousands of Australians are flocking to the nearest source of water they can find this afternoon as temperatures across Sydney, Adelaide and Melbourne soar well past 30 degrees, and with impeccable timing this Australia Day long weekend. Here in Western Sydney, the temperature reached just shy of 40 degrees around 2 p.m. as the New South Wales Rural Fire Service declared very high fire ratings for areas to the west and south of the city. But across Greater Sydney, the people we spoke to were in a mood of early celebration for Australia Day.
Hot day, 40 degrees. Everyone have chilled down with cool beers on the river. So we celebrate Australia Day. On the actual Australia Day, it'll be like 4 times the number. We'll do an even bigger one.
Now, the temperatures in Melbourne and Adelaide are expected to start tapering off over today and Monday, with some wet weather forecast for those regions. But in Sydney, things are only just heating up, with Australia Day tipped to peak at well over 40 degrees, culminating in a scorching Australia Day for the harbour city.
Thank you, Taylor. A man has survived a shark attack at a popular swimming spot on the New South Wales Central Coast. Andrew Denny is following this story. Andrew, it was an extremely rare attack for the area.
Well, good afternoon. What happened here at Yarrawonga Park on Lake Macquarie has left locals rattled. It was about 6:30 last night when local man Rick Burberry was swimming here with his wife Julie, and he was attacked by a shark. It mauled his arm around the elbow. The damage so severe, we're told, it couldn't be saved.
He was shredded. His arm was pretty shredded in bits and pieces.
Now, this is a popular spot for swimmers, kayakers and water skiers. Yesterday was no different, with dozens out on the water before the attack. Many of those people came to Rick's aid, an off-duty lifesaver applying a tourniquet to stop the bleeding.
The thoughts were just, let's treat this guy. We couldn't do anything else. We had to hold that in place and actually hold a bit of the artery for about 50 minutes at least.
Great job by the bystanders on scene. One was his wife, and she did a fantastic job. She stayed very calm considering what had happened.
Now, there have been sightings of various sharks here in Lake Macquarie, but it is unclear just what species was responsible for this attack. Authorities are now investigating that, and they are warning people that despite the fact that until now it has been decades since an attack here at the lake, clearly there are sharks out there and there is a risk associated with swimming, particularly at dawn and dusk.
Thank you, Andrew. A man has been killed in a fiery crash in Melbourne's southeast. Police had tried to stop the car in the early hours of the morning, but the driver sped off. Officers say they were trying to locate the vehicle when they saw a flash in the distance. The car had slammed into a tree and burst into flames. They pulled the man from the burning wreckage, but he couldn't be saved. It's been a horror night on southeast Queensland roads as well. A car was left barely recognisable after slamming into a tree in the front yard of a home in Brisbane's north. A 37-year-old man died on impact, while an 18-year-old girl was left fighting for life after a head-on collision in Logan. The other driver, a 21-year-old man, was seriously injured. As Australia marks a week with no community transmission, the federal government has moved to reassure us the vaccine rollout is on track. Let's go to Serena and Deloro in Sydney. Serena, there have been concerns overseas delays could disrupt our plans.
There have, Angie. We've heard several European countries complaining supplies of the Pfizer vaccine have fallen short of their orders, but the Treasurer has today stressed our rollout timeline won't be affected by that. Australia has bought 10 million doses, and exactly when we get them is a decision for the medical regulator, the TGA approving the jab later this month.
We are still on track to receive those Pfizer vaccines in mid to late February. What Australia must do is to carefully consider those vaccines through the TGA process. We're not about to cut corners. We're not in the same position as the United States.
The Morrison government is also calling for nominations for a new COVID Bravery Award. It's just like a regular Australian Bravery Award, but honouring volunteers or professionals who have gone above and beyond to help us get through the pandemic. They will be announced on the Queen's birthday. Lots of everyday Australians very deserving of one of those, Angie.
Thank you, Serena. The remarkable efforts of surfers have prevented Victoria's record drowning toll from growing. They've saved lives in 2 separate ocean rescues in less than a day. Cameron Bowe has more.
2 dramatic rescue efforts have been carried out here on 13th Beach in less than 24 hours, and there are some eerie similarities. The same hero, local surfer Ben Roberts, has stepped up to save lives 2 days running. Just a few hours ago, he came to the rescue when 4 members of a family became caught in a rip while swimming. Ben Roberts and another surfer dragged the father of the family from under the water. They just got to him in time. He was then treated by paramedics on the beach. He's since been taken to hospital. The 2 surfers also saved the man's son from drowning. Almost 24 hours earlier, and at the same location, Ben Roberts and another surfer saved 2 teenagers from a deadly rip which claimed the life of the teen's father.
People from the top started yelling, and we could see that they were just in another little rip, and so we just ran out, and they're pretty groggy and swallowed a lot of water, and they're pretty in and out of consciousness. But at least they're getting the right support now.
The remarkably brave efforts by Ben Roberts and the other 2 heroes here have prevented Victoria's record bad number of drownings. Since July last year, 42 lives have been lost in Victorian waters.
Thank you, Cameron. One of the world's most wanted men could be extradited to Australia to face trial, accused of being one of our biggest drug suppliers. 57-year-old C. Chi Lop was arrested in the Netherlands in an operation orchestrated by federal police. He's been compared to jailed Mexican drug lord El Chapo, allegedly supplying tons of narcotics to Australian outlaw motorcycle gangs. It's suspected Lop is the head of a syndicate known as The Company, which has a $22 billion empire. Senior Liberal Party figures are playing down the prospect of an early election, saying the Prime Minister intends to go to the polls next year. With speculation growing, the election will be held this spring. Both major parties have begun campaign preparations, but the Treasurer insists the election will be held next year.
As the Prime Minister said as recently as last Friday, the election is due in 2022.
If it's early, it's because Scott Morrison doesn't have the confidence in his own government to be able to last a 3-year term.
The Liberal Party has also hosed down reports that a directive was sent to finalise pre-selections in marginal seats by March. One of the most recognisable faces on American television, Larry King, has died at the age of 87 following a recent battle with coronavirus. The legendary broadcaster interviewed everyone who was anyone over a career spanning 60 years.
A kiss for a king from Hollywood royalty.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
The master of the microphone got even the most guarded stars to open up.
Got a date with an angel.
From humble beginnings rose Larry, king of talk show TV.
Welcome to Larry King Live.
He was born Lawrence Ziegler in Brooklyn, 1933. He got his first job in radio and a new name.
There was an ad for King's Wholesale Liquors. And he says, "That's your name, Larry King."
Over an estimated 50,000 interviews, King took on the world's most famous.
How do they tell you you're going to be a knight?
Among them, world leaders, breaking new ground.
Together for the first time ever on television, Jordan's King Hussein, Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, and PLO Chairman Yasser Arafat talk about peace in the Middle East.
Questioning American presidents became a specialty.
What is it like to be shot?
How did you emotionally hold up through all that? Well, I'm here. I know, but how? Do you still like this job?
A man destined to be Commander-in-Chief even filled in once.
I'm Donald Trump, sitting in for Larry tonight.
Many have paid tribute. From Bill Clinton, he had a great sense of humour and a genuine interest in people. And Oprah, it was always a treat to sit at your table. Married 8 times and bankrupt twice, King's life wasn't without turmoil. But one thing was constant.
I was in love with what I was doing.
A love that lasted a lifetime.
Thank you. And instead of goodbye, how about so long?
Jack Douglas, 7 News.
Still to come in 7 News, chaos in the car park, crashes and a near miss, why a driver tried to escape police. Russian crackdown, Vladimir Putin under pressure as protesters rage against a political arrest, and the incredible close encounter with a great white. That's next.
I want to be known as a good doctor, not a good autistic doctor.
In the thrilling new season,
I want this to be over.
his dream
I can't communicate what I need.
flatlines.
Patients will die.
The Good Doctor, coming to Tuesdays on 7. When you update your home's air conditioning, you'll want air that saves energy. A lot of energy. Keep watching.
Me and the girls, we'd like to thank you for choosing Fluorio Milk. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to continue doing what we love, helping make farming sustainable for the next generation.
For my family, some things are really important. Fluorio Milk is fresh, from cow to shelf within 24 hours. They're locally family-owned, community-minded and passionate about farming. Real healthy dairy products, the way they used to taste.
Fluorio Milk, South Australian and proud of it.
Forget 2020, bring on 2021 with Woolers. We got our list, let's shop. Rachel, I need some colour in the kitchen, a few candles and diffusers, some new cushions, and I love your wall art. James, I'd love a fancy recliner, a new lounge for the family, something for entertaining, an outdoor setting, and I love the idea of a powered bed. So come and shop where we do and meet the Woolers family. Woolers, Mount Barker, Richmond and Tanunda.
5-Star Outdoors, we're committed to the best quality outdoor solutions.
So whether it's roller shutters, cafe blinds, solar or roof restorations, we offer a one-on-one service.
And we offer free, no obligation quotes and no deposit finance.
5-Star Outdoors, your outdoor solution experts. Update your home's air conditioning and save a lot of energy with Mitsubishi Electric. Works for me. Think you've got what it takes to be on Holy Moly? Show us your trick shot and you could win a home entertainment pack worth $10,000. Thanks to M&M's and Fetch. Head to 7plus.com.au/trickshot for your chance to win.
2 fishermen have made a grim discovery north of Sydney, finding a man's body off Newcastle last night. Police have set up a crime scene with officers in the process of trying to notify the man's family. Investigators are looking at possible links to a 25-year-old man who went missing from a nearby hotel on Wednesday. Shoppers have been caught up in the hunt for a stolen car north of Brisbane. The dramatic moment a driver tried to flee police was captured on dash camera. The stolen Audi crashed into 2 cars in the car park of Morayfield Shopping Centre. One officer tried to open the door, narrowly avoiding being run down as the car sped off. A 22-year-old man was later arrested and charged over the incident. It's been a night of chaos on Queensland's Stradbroke Island after a music festival party got out of control. Police from the mainland were sent to restore order after a boat ended up colliding with a jetty. Carly Madsen has more.
At around 8:30 last night, water police based here at Main Beach were called across to the Koran Cove Resort to reports of a large disturbance at an R&B music festival. Initially, there were just 2 officers in attendance, but due to the size of the crowd, additional police were called in for backup. Officers forced to use capsicum spray to break up the angry crowd.
Large numbers of people had started fighting, had brawling. The QAS tent that was there was being overrun by patrons, intoxicated people.
The Gold Coast Vibes Festival started earlier in the day. Up to 350 partygoers dancing and drinking in the hot sun. But it wasn't until they started to leave there was issues with an intoxicated man on board the ferry.
He'd accidentally bumped the gears for that vessel, which put it into gear, and it bumped into one of the pontoons there.
It was after he was kicked off the boat, fights erupted. The event organisers blamed security, which they claim were organised by the resort. Police haven't laid any charges over the incident. They are, however, investigating the event's liquor licensing and COVID-safe plan.
Thank you, Carly. A civil uprising is building in Russia over the arrest of Vladimir Putin's main political opponent. Supporters of Alexei Navalny took to the streets across the country protesting his imprisonment. In wild scenes, police cracked down, even arresting Navalny's wife. Hugh Whitfeld reports.
These demonstrations have taken place right across Russia, from St. Petersburg in the west to Vladivostok in the east. In Siberia, protesters braved temperatures as low as minus 50 degrees Celsius. But the main demonstration was in Moscow's Pushkin Square, and police did not hold back, declaring them as unsanctioned gatherings, resulting in violent scenes. The protesters demanding the release of Alexei Navalny, the most prominent critic of Vladimir Putin in Russian politics. He was arrested on arrival in Moscow last weekend after spending the last couple of months recovering from being poisoned on a flight over Siberia with Novichok, the nerve agent. The protesters in one part of the country today throwing snowballs at police. But among those arrested, Navalny's wife and his lawyer. Police moved in on her while she was speaking to the media. This is widely seen as the most serious challenge to Vladimir Putin's grip on power in many years. It is clear he will use the police to suppress opposition voices. One Russia expert said that Putin appears to be in a blind panic, fearing a similar uprising as those that we've seen in Ukraine and Belarus in recent years.
Thanks, Hugh Whitfeld there. US President Joe Biden has warned America's COVID crisis will get worse as the country faces a COVID vaccine shortage. Some states, including New York, have run out of doses as supply struggles to keep up with demand. The new president now turning the focus to mask use.
By wearing masks, from now until April, we will save more than 50,000 lives.
Mr. Biden is also continuing his mission to roll back much of his predecessor's legacy. New pictures show construction halted at Donald Trump's Mexico border wall. Tropical cyclone Eloise has made landfall in Mozambique, pummeling towns with hurricane-force winds and heavy rain. Locals were warned of gusts up to 200 kilometres an hour. While most communities escaped severe damage, there is now the threat of major flooding. A boatie has captured extraordinary pictures of a great white off South Australia's Yorke Peninsula. The shark was lurking near the water's surface yesterday morning. It came terrifyingly close to the camera before swimming off. There are big changes for Australian Open fans. Melbourne Park will be redesigned to keep COVID safe when the tournament finally gets underway. Fans will be restricted to 3 zones. While organisers haven't revealed crowd limits, there will be modified arena capacities with seating booked in pods to ensure social distancing. Well, time for sport now with Matt Shervington. Shergo, doubt over the Big Bash finals.
Yeah, that's right, Angie. Teams who finish at the top of the table may not get to host home finals. The details are next as the Scorchers leave the Stars playoffs hopes hanging by a thread, and 8 goals in 28 minutes. The stunning scoring frenzy that rewrote the A-League record books.
Australia's biggest school shoe sale is now on, with over 125 options from $49.95. With Fit Geniuses in every store, you'll get a 30-day fit guarantee and a free gift with every purchase. Hurry into Williams, #1 for school shoes.
The worst effects of smoking are on the inside, including hardened veins and arteries and chronic lung diseases like emphysema that leave their victim fighting for every breath. Cigarette smoke is heartless. Don't let it in.
Look serious, Chipper. It's the Allington's Mega Workwear Sale. Save on a huge range of boots and workwear from all the best brands. So if you're serious about workwear, don't miss out. Yep, own it, fella. Shop in-store and online at allingtons.com.au.
Rodents in your attic or walls? With 25% off rodent control.
No worries with the team from Murray's.
Harvey Norman, your destination for the new Samsung Galaxy S21 series. Pre-order the new Samsung Galaxy S21 128GB for $0 up front when you sign up to a new Optus $85 per month SIM-only plan for 24 months. That's right, sign up to an Optus $85 per month SIM-only plan for 24 months and pre-order the new Samsung Galaxy S21 128GB for $0 up front. Plus, get bonus Galaxy Buds Live. Pre-order bonus offer ends 28th of January at Harvey Norman.
7 News is uniquely Adelaide. Always has been, always will be. Like you, we live and work here.
Adelaide's 7 News. 7 News.
Homemade news, made in Adelaide, for Adelaide. Every hour of every day.
Eyes of the nation right here on Channel 7.
Live and local at 4.
To breaking news now.
Live and local at 6.
Across live now to
Adelaide's most watched news service is your 7 News.
Welcome back. The Perth Scorchers have urged Cricket Australia to do everything possible to ensure home Big Bash finals for teams who earn them. Last night's 11-run win over the Melbourne Stars at the MCG lifted Perth to the top of the ladder. The top 2 teams at the end of the regular season normally get a home final.
Next game for us could still really be important. We know how important winning is going into final series, and we've got that momentum at the moment.
Finals venues remain undecided due to travel issues caused by the pandemic, so there's no guarantee Perth will be able to play at Optus Stadium. That win moves the Scorchers ahead of long-time leaders, the Sydney Sixers, on net run average, and leaves the Stars clinging to 5th spot by the barest of margins. The finals begin on Friday night. Tonight, it's must-win for the Hobart Hurricanes up against the Sydney Sixers, live and free on the screens of 7. To the A-League, and 8 goals were scored in 28 minutes in an extraordinary second half between Western United and Perth Glory in Geelong. Perth scored twice in as many minutes to take the lead, but the action was only just beginning. In the 84th minute, with the scores locked at 4-all, Steve Lustica came up with the decisive blow for Western.
Now another chance for Lustica.
In Adelaide, 16-year-old rising star Mohamed Toure fired the Reds to a 1-0 win over Melbourne Victory. Socceroo Matt Ryan watched from the bench as his new side, Arsenal's FA Cup title defence, ended with a shock 1-0 loss to Southampton. Wolverhampton's efforts to intimidate battlers Chorley Town were laughed off. It took a goal of the highest calibre to end the 6th-tier side fairy tale run.
Oh, what an opening goal! Stunner after 11 minutes. Brilliant bending shot.
Manchester City trailed 3rd-tier side Cheltenham 1-0 until the 81st minute, but recovered to win 3-1. The Kings say they'll keep wearing their exile from Sydney as a badge of honour after taming the Taipans in Cairns last night.
Tough from the corner. Oh, my goodness! A circus shot 3 from the corner.
It took plays like Sean Bruce's half-time buzzer beater and withstanding Cameron Oliver's powered dunking onslaught to win 99-91. Casper Ware hit 20 of his 22 points in the second half. It's the Kings' 500th NBL win. Australia's flying 15-year-old snowboarding sensation took a valuable lesson from his first World Cup halfpipe final in Switzerland this morning. Valentino Giselli qualified in top spot but finished 8th after crashing. World number 1 Scotty James returned from a long layoff with a silver medal, tuning up for next week's X Games.
I got some fire under my feet. I'm ready, I'm fired up, and I'll bounce back next week.
Laura Peel kept her aerial skiing World Cup lead with silver in Moscow. And Angie, Conor McGregor has fought in UFC 257. Today, we'll have all the results for you at 6 p.m.
All right, we look forward to that. Thanks very much, Shervo. Still to come in 7 News, we'll have all your Monday weather details right around the country.
Early Settlers Big Sale just got bigger. Up to 30% off our comfy sofas. Up to 40% off bedroom. Buy the chairs and get the table half price. Buy one table lamp and get one free. Outdoor furniture up to 30% off. Early Settlers Big Sale is now on.
The Pope Auto-Wind hose reel has an industry-leading rewind system, a stop-and-go action, a 180-degree swivel and a 10-year hose warranty. So no more messy backyards. Pope. Smoother, safer, better.
The fantastic summer event is on now, and there's something for the whole family. Save on kids' furniture, beds, mattresses, sofas, and heaps more. Find your fantastic. Shop in store or online today. Don't miss the fantastic summer event.
What I love about this cookware set is that it kind of partners with me in the kitchen. It stays non-stick, it does the job, I'm able to get beautiful results from it.
Get Diamond Earth, the all-new non-stick cookware collection from Clever for faster cooking and easier cleaning. Make amazing meals for the whole family. Cook salmon skin down, no fats or oils. The secret is in the German-engineered C3 Grelblon coating, guaranteeing perfect non-stick performance with no hot spots. Diamond Earth's German technology is built to last. Don't pay over $500 for a top-quality cookware set. Call 02 9387 4100 or get to cleverrange.com.au. Get the 24cm fry pan and casserole pot, the 20cm fry pan and saucepan, plus the soft touch lids and 10-year guarantee for just $249. Order now and get this fast and fresh steamer. Plus, free postage anywhere in Australia. Only the first 50 orders get this 3-piece Clever Cut knife set, nearly $100 in value, absolutely free. Get the whole set, steamer, free postage and knife set. Call now and don't miss out.
Add year-round entertaining with an opening and closing louver roof system from Louver Kit Company. Love the outdoors with complete control of the shade. Buy in a kit or ask us to fit. Explore Louver Kit Company at the Home Ideas Centre on Anzac Highway.
Well, it's not just humans trying to keep cool at the moment. Sprinklers are working overtime at a Melbourne wildlife park, helping koalas beat the heat. Koalas don't sweat, but Dindy, Tony and Nuji are getting a helping hand just to stay a bit more comfortable. Checking the national forecast now, a tropical low and troughs are bringing rain and storms to the central interior while directing a very hot air mass to the south and southeast. So it's another scorcher for the southeastern capitals tomorrow. Adelaide a humid 34 with the odd shower. Melbourne fine 39 with a late cool change. Hobart will see 32 degrees followed by late rain. Canberra 37 degrees. Fine and 32 for Sydney. Brisbane a possible shower 30. Perth cool by comparison 26 degrees. And that is 7 News for now. Our next bulletin is 7 News at 6. I'm Angie Asimus. Thanks for your company.